Awesome.
Great.
Okay, so for our listeners today, we have a special guest, Ali Ashouri from this season, Shahs of Sunset. So thanks for coming on. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. How are you
Uh,
guys?
we're good. How are you doing
Hanging
in the
in.
How are you doing in the pandemic?
Trying to live like the rest of the world, trying to survive.
Yeah.
Has it been hard?
It's been really hard. It's been difficult. And on top of that, you put like all the drama that I've been in with my life and everything else is just kind of a lot to handle.
Yeah, and Shahs has aired during the pandemic, right?
It aired during the pandemic, yes.
So is that kind of a bummer though? So you couldn't like go out and like, be seen, if you will?
Funny, actually. I was paddleboarding like 2 weeks ago, and somebody recognized me, and they were like, "You're Ali from the show." And I just I'm kind of not used to that. When somebody comes up to you and asks you, I'm like, "How do you know who I am?" Because I forget about the show.
Yeah. Have you gotten recognized a lot since it's aired?
Well, I haven't gone really anywhere, but I've been
Yeah.
recognized here and there. Yeah.
Are
So you live in LA?
Yes.
Cool.
Where in LA do you live? West
I
Hollywood?
live in West Hollywood. Yeah.
How is it? Fun?
It's fun. Where do you live?
We're in Chicago, but I
Oh,
was
you are?
yeah, I was gonna say I heard that you lived in Chicago.
I did. I love Chicago. It was my hometown. I grew
Where?
up there. I lived in Lakeview. I was on Ashland and Irving Park Road. That's where my
Lakeview. Oops. Sorry.
That's amazing. Why did you move from Chicago? You had to chase the Hollywood lifestyle?
No, honestly, I never expected in my life that I would move to LA and then I would end up on the show somehow. Like I never expected that. When I
So
lived
how
in
did
Chicago,
how
I
did that all
watched.
happen?
When I lived in Chicago, I watched the show from season 1, but I never thought that I would actually go to LA and then somehow become friends with the cast and then this would happen. Like honestly, it's crazy when you think about it.
That's
I moved because it was too cold. Like I couldn't handle the cold anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like Chicago's the best city from like July so for like 2 months. We get like 2 or 3 months, and then January through March is just like, why the fuck do you live here?
It's
And
Honestly,
then Halloween comes, you can't be like, the slutty skank girls. Like you can't be that because
yeah,
You can still try.
you feel like you're gonna die of like frostbite. It's crazy.
So give our listeners a little background about yourself, if you don't mind. What you
Sure.
do.
So,
Yeah.
I am a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for about 11 years, and I grew up in Chicago, like we said. And I was born in Tehran. I moved to Chicago when I was 10. I grew up there until I was 20. Oh God. I lived in Chicago for 20 years, so that makes me what, 20, 22? No, 30. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. 22.
So I was 30 when I left Chicago, and now I'm 36, and I've lived in LA for 6 years.
And so how did you get connected with the cast of Shahs of Sunset?
I had a mutual friend with Adam, and he had a birthday party, and it was like a dinner birthday party, and it was at a restaurant. It was like 10 people. And I was sitting across from Adam at the time at this dinner, and then we started becoming friends. We became friends on Facebook. And then I met Reza separately, like on another event. And then it just kind of like happened. And Adam was texting me to come hang out with them and go to Palm Springs with MJ, Reza, and Adam for Adam's birthday. And then it just, I became friends with everybody after that.
Was this all pretty recent though, or what?
No, this is like 4 years ago.
Okay, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So you're closest with Adam, Reza, and MJ. What about the others? Did you have any contact with them?
I was really close with Adam, and then shit got weird.
Yeah, you're gonna touch on, yes.
Then shit got weird, so I had to, then I became really close friends with MJ because her and I connected on a different level because of her dad, and my mom is sick, so we connected on like a special level that we just understood each other's pain. And then I became friends with Destiny after season 7 was after I was in the background of season 7. I was kind of like the fun party goer.
Yeah. So it sounds like you were friends with Adam first. So what was your first impression of him?
I thought he was fine. I thought he was a little weird, but like, nothing like crazy. But then it just got crazier and crazier, and just like as you guys saw this season, I mean, it just became really intense, and I just felt like he wasn't really my friend. He was kind of just making fun of me and like attacking me and like trying to like degrade me and trying to make me like be like calling me a whore, I mean, a bunch of different things, and I just was like done with it. Like I was like, well, how am I this person that you're trying to portray, and you're the one that's actually texting me inappropriate text messages, and having like naked Jenga.
And what was your first impression as you became friends with them of Reza and Adam and kind of their relationship? If it, because they've been through ups and downs, we know, but like, did you see that when you were friends with them?
To be honest, when I was friends with them, and when they were hanging out, and when we were all hanging out, it just kind of felt like forced. Like I said this to MJ and to Destiny separately, that Adam is a different person in front of Reza than he is normally when he's not there. Okay, so when Reza's not there, he's a completely different person, and when Reza's there, he's like this quiet mouse in the corner. And then when like it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like you just don't know like how crazy this person is, like, and what crazy things they're into, and then it just gets like, and then it just got revealed, and I revealed it all about how he is.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah, so we'll start there. So for listeners that don't watch, like, what the fuck are you doing? But basically the season starts with Reza and Adam throwing a housewarming party. And at this party, Destiny tells Reza that you said that Adam is playing strip Jenga, correct?
Yes, strip Jenga.
Okay.
When I said strip Jenga, it turned into naked Jenga through the game of telephone. I don't know how this changed, but I never said naked Jenga until actually just now in your podcast. I just said naked Jenga for the first time. So I got sucked into it too.
But tell us, what the fuck is strip Jenga?
I never even heard of that before.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I never played strip Jenga. I just know that from people that were there that played strip Jenga. I mean, apparently, if they had lost one more game, they all would be butt naked.
So it would have been naked Jenga.
Yeah, so
it's true. I feel like if I'm thinking like how boring you must be because you have to play like after each game of like Jenga. I'm thinking like if a tower of Jenga falls, then you take an item of clothing off. So like whoever makes that tower fall takes that item of clothing off. So how many times that they have played for them to be one more?
Who just has that in their back pocket? Yes. Like a party chick. Like, oh, let's whip out the naked Jenga. Like,
I don't know. I have no idea what the rules are. Maybe you guys should like have an interview with Adam.
It made me laugh because to me, like, Jenga's such like a not sexual game. Like focusing on like getting the block through. Like that's not like sexual and fun. Like it's like very like focused. So I just thought that was a weird game.
And I do honestly, I mean, anything that you have a conversation with Adam turns into sex. So like, I could be like, oh, my grandma is sitting on a wheelchair, and then somehow it'll turn into like pussy and cock, and like I don't know, it just turns into like all roads with Adam lead to sex.
So tell us how though that you found this out that they were playing this.
Well, okay, so I was out on like a Sunday fun day, and my friend, that's a mutual friend with Adam, came up to me and was like, I'm going to Adam's house, come with me tonight. I'm like, why, what's going on? He's like, oh, he's having some like strip Jenga game night or something. And I'm like, what? With who? And he was like, it's me and some other guy, and like, it's weird, I don't want to go, please come with me. And I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'm definitely not going to that.
Reza wasn't home, right? Reza wasn't home.
Reza was like on his Kenya Moore hair care tour.
Okay.
We love that.
Yeah. So he was in New York, so he wasn't around. And then so then it just, then like, so my friend goes with Adam, and then he texts me on his way back. He's like, where are you? I'm coming back. And I'm like, I already left home. And I'm like, how was strip Jenga? He's like, I went, I played, I came back. And I'm like, oh, MG, like, whatever. And the next day, Adam was telling me that he played, like I was asking him like, well, how was last night or what's going on, and he was telling me about it, right? And I was sitting in bed with MJ, when I was talking to Adam, and he was on speaker. And this is the part where at the reunion, he's like, they tried to record me. We were never recording him. We were just sitting there, like shooting, like having fun. Like we're sitting in bed, and just he's on speaker, but he doesn't know I'm in front of MJ when he's talking. So that's where like his paranoia kicks in, that we're trying to record him having conversation about what happened the night before. That never happened. Like we were never even in that wavelength to think about it.
What did your friend say? I mean, obviously they got naked, right? If this turned into naked Jenga, or did he?
I mean, he was like, it was a little weird, whatever. Like it was just like it was 3 people. I mean, 3 people playing strip Jenga.
That is not a vibe.
Yeah,
that makes it worse.
That's gonna be a no, sis. Okay, so then where does Mercedes come in? So she told you that they were not in a great place. So like, explain to everyone how she comes in to the story.
So I had told her and Destiny while she was on bed rest, like what was going on with everything, and how like I feel like I'm being belittled by Adam, and he's just trying to degrade me and try to, for my life choices. I mean, I'm single, I can do whatever I want, but he was just like, making me feel like I'm like, a dirty whore because I'm hooking up with a guy on like a Sunday, and he's home with his like married husband, and they're having babies together in a year. Like he was just being judgmental, and I'm like, well, what the hell? Like, it's none of your business what I do. I'm single, I can do whatever. I don't have a husband. You do, and you go on gyms and cruise around and touch people's dicks and like watch people have sex, and you have a husband, and I don't do that. So let's get real here. So anyways, I told all this to Adam, to Destiny and MJ, and they both knew that I was going to bring it up at some point, and they were going to support me and have this, like.
So was that during filming though? I'm curious about the behind the scenes. So was that conversation known that this is going to be a part of the show?
So nobody knew about this except me, Destiny, and MJ. Okay, and they knew that I was going to bring it up at some point during the show. Okay. They just didn't know when I was going to bring it up. Okay. So that morning of my lunch date with Destiny, okay, I had a conversation with MJ, and she's like, "You should just go do it today." And I'm like, "No, I don't think it's the right time to go do it." And she's like, "Well, I don't know, if you want to talk about it, just talk about it, because how are the producers going to know that you have this information, and they don't know that you have this information, so you have to talk about it." So I'm like, and she's like, "And just go tell Destiny, she already knows, and just tell her." So then I did just that, and I went on the lunch date, and I told Destiny everything on camera, which she already knew, and she could have stopped me, she could have sent me a signal, be like, "Don't talk about it," but she didn't. She went with it. She was like, "Oh my God," like all this stuff. She was acting like all that. Like she was just, she knew everything, right? Yeah. So then when shit hit the fan, then she's like, "I had nothing to do with it. It was MJ. MJ knows about it." Well, she make herself look like she has nothing to do with it. But in fact, she was sitting in my living room, and she was telling me, she's like, "This shit's gonna be really good." And she was practicing what she wanted to say when I was bringing it up. And she literally did that in my living room. So for her to blame it all on MJ is just ridiculous.
Yeah, so everyone was kind of,
we all kind of had a part in it. It was my idea to do it because I was going to talk about it, but so then it was because it was my story. Like no one else can really tell the story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we fast forward to the next scene. Obviously, is the lunch with you, Reza, and Destiny. We actually just rewatched that scene. So what was that like? So for the listeners who don't watch, so obviously they go to this lunch to talk about what was said at the housewarming party. Reza comes in a full mood, coming in hot. Yes. You tell him that basically Adam was sending you text messages that were, on the border of sexual harassment. And I think that would really kind of, hit a nerve with him.
It's sexual harassment when you're like harassing me based on my like in a sexual tone that I don't appreciate, and I didn't send for it. Don't come bring it here. I didn't want that around me. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, "Stop talking to me like that. It's making me uncomfortable." And he kept doing it. So that's the definition of sexual harassment. Like it is something that it's and I don't know how else to explain that, and why is nobody really taking it serious, because it is a thing, and he's done it to more than me. It's just other people have experienced this behavior as well.
Yeah. The best
So-
part is when you put the papers on.
Yes, and that's
Favorite
like
receipts.
Okay, so tell us. Come on, we're so curious. What were the texts? We need.
so there's. I mean, I can read some for you. Let me pull them up.
Please
Yes,
do.
we love a good receipt check.
Okay, hold on. So I have. It's God. He has his own folder. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like crazy because I screenshot everything and put it in a folder.
I mean, we love your dedication to
Yeah.
that.
So like, okay, so January 18th, 4:04 p.m. He sends me like a picture of like a dick pic, right, of some guy, and I'm like, Jesus, and he's like, I'm sure there's a video of you and him, ha ha ha, and I know you wouldn't turn him away. Be like, what's your name? And then before he can answer, his cock is in your mouth. And then I send like an eye roll emoji as a reply,
Yeah.
and he's like, you're right. It's more believable if it's in your booty hole.
Ooh.
Why is so
And I'm like,
aggressive?
It's so aggressive, right? It's so aggressive. And I'm like, you're so annoying. He's like, bye. And then that was 4 p.m. So 6 p.m. that same day, he sends me pictures of 2 porn stills of some guy getting fucked. And then he's like, oh my God, girl, someone is leaking stills from your video. Like the same joke.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours later. It's not funny.
Yeah.
If it
Right?
didn't
Like,
the first time,
yeah,
like
And
one
it's
time.
constant. It was constant. Like it would be like 2 hours later, another one. And then like next day, 3 more. So like,
You just
Jen-
like over sexual. What do
yeah,
you?
I don't know. And then he sends me porn, another January 15th, like 4 a.m. I don't respond because I'm sleeping. 4 a.m. Who's awake?
Yeah.
4 a.m. getting porn from your friend. And he says, not impressed. I don't respond. And then like 5 p.m. Could you take this black guy? It's some like link to some porn. I don't respond. January 16th, 5:45 a.m. Morning, monstermeattumblr.com is sent to me. So then I'm like, I don't respond to any of these things. Like that's like definition of harassment. I don't know what a harassment is, but that is definitely sexual harassment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's odd, obviously, that he's married sending you this.
Like,
It's like I think it's frustrated. I think sexually they just don't have that much sex because like they just don't love each other, and so they are in this like union that they have to make it work and have a public image that they're trying to portray. And unfortunately, I shattered that for them, and they that's why they're so pissed because I like brought the truth and talk. So they can't have another fake storyline of like, oh, babe, honey, we're gonna have surrogates. Fuck that.
Yeah, we see he gets very angry. He throws the drink in your face. He storms off.
you stayed pretty calm.
Yeah,
I was
you did.
impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, if I'm calm, I'm in control. So that's why I could have. I went to go grab my water to throw it back at him, but I didn't. I put it back. Like you see that I grabbed the cup and I like put it back.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna do this.
But back to the text, like, have you seen him when you're just hanging out before, like, no filming, nothing, like, him do anything, I would say, the word, like, shady with someone else? Or do you think he's over sexual?
Not around me. It's just very sexual in nature and tone. All these conversations, everything turns into sex, like literally.
But like,
Yeah.
what's his end game? Is he just horny as hell and like wants to sext, or does he like want to hook up with other people? Like,
I don't know. I think he has.
Does he have a crush on you, Ali?
I mean, good luck. I don't know. Honestly, I think he has some sort of a fetish. I think that he gets off on like talking to people that way, and like some people like that. And even Reza says it in one of his confessionals. He's like, maybe Adam has some sort of weird fetish I don't know about. Like he says it. I mean, it's really like kind of crazy to have somebody talk to you like this, that I don't talk to any of my friends like that. I mean, I don't talk to my fuck buddies like that.
Yeah. What has been the response from the viewers? That's kind of interesting.
Unfortunately, because I haven't really had a chance to tell my side of the story. I've been portrayed this like picture of this thirsty stalker character that came in and like tried to befriend everyone and tried to get on the show, and that's not what happened. So, but they portrayed me as that, and people like hate me, and they're sending me all these like hate messages, which is crazy because like how do you even hate me? You don't even know who I am, how my personality is. You don't really know anything about me. It's just that I brought some sort of like some drama into onto the show about some of your characters that you think are good people in this world, and they're really not.
Has that affected you? That's interesting that you're receiving more negativity.
Yeah, I have, honestly, this show has been nothing but negative for me. It hasn't been anything positive. So it's sad because I have a really funny personality, and I like to show that, and I like to be able to make people laugh, and I think that's amazing. And that's one of you have to have a certain personality and humor to be able to do that. And I never got to do that. Like I didn't even have confessionals to throw some funny shades at them.
Do you ever regret bringing that to the show, or do you think it was worth it?
I regret everything that has happened because of how it has destroyed all of our relationships. I don't talk to anybody. I don't talk to MJ. I don't talk to Destiny. I don't talk to Golden. Nobody. I don't talk to anyone.
Wow.
And that's really sad because I was really good friends with MJ and Destiny, and MJ was one of my best friends, and I miss her and I love her, and I don't have that, she was like a security blanket to me. Like I would tell her anything in my life, and she would, kind of be a big sister to me and tell me what she thought about it and give me advice and everything. So I just miss that, and I don't have that in my life right now. And it sucks because
that was, I think, you were the closest with MJ though, right?
Yes, that was close.
And so was that the most hurtful, that she kind of backed away from you?
Absolutely. It's so crazy. I just actually saw this yesterday. I gave her Fendi sunglasses for her birthday in 2018, just I love you, whatever.
Yeah.
She has posted them on Poshmark to sell them.
Ooh, that is the ultimate.
And I just
sunglasses. I would never do that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's bad form.
Yeah, that's just it just shows how much I mean to her. I don't mean anything to her.
Okay, so what's the one thing you would say to Mercedes, and what's the one thing you would say to Reza?
I have nothing to say to Reza. He needs to grow up, and he needs to control his temper, and he needs to own for his man's mistakes and keep it as that. He doesn't need to project his problems onto anybody else but his husband, who created all this mess. If he had taken ownership of this responsibility of his husband, then none of this would have ever happened. If he didn't deflect onto other people and try to ruin all of our lives and friendships. For 2 years, I've had dealt with this drama because we filmed in 2019. 2019 was a terrible year for me, okay? And now getting to relive it in 2020 on top of COVID and everything on top of everything else that's going on. Imagine how I'm reliving 2019 in the year 2020. It's just the worst.
Like a pile on, yeah.
Yeah. And to MJ, I love her, and I hope that someday we can be friends and move past all this. But she also has to take the right steps, because I've really literally done everything I could to mend our friendships, and I haven't really received anything from her. So.
Well, outside of this drama, what was production like? I mean, you hear about Bachelor producers. They're some of the most notoriously manipulative producers in the game. What was your experience with Bravo producers?
Well, my first year in season 7, it was very positive. Everybody was very friendly. Everybody was so nice. Everybody was just amazing. And then in season 8, it was a whole different group of producers, and it was literally more. I felt like I was being used for the story, and I was, and so, and they basically, I gave them a whole season on the platter, just here you go. Because what would they really have without me, without season 8?
Have you heard from production, or do you have any plans would you return, or no? I mean,
they would really have to give me a really, if there's any sort of room for me to even be on the show. I don't even know if the show's coming back. I don't even know anything, but it has to be really beneficial for me to be wanting to be part of the show, because it's been negative so far. So I don't know.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your side. It was very
thanks for having me.